Hey guys, okay, one more thing here too before we get to the bow drill is the tried and true FERO rod and knife. This is my Becker BK7. I have not stripped it, but I did strip a little bit off there so I could make a strike with my large FERO rod. That I think it's eBay where I got these. These are huge. They come with a lanyard on it. And this is a knife rig that I made myself. It's not the prettiest, but I put straps on here so I could do it cross draw. I have a drop down so I can make it a dangler. Got a small button compass on it and cordage wrapped around it as well. But what I'm going to do is, a lot of you know this one, but if you're somebody new watching out there and don't know, you have your FERO rod with your knife, or buy a knife with the setup like that already. Then you have your knife, which is the most important tool you can have. And then you got an easy way to make fire. You don't have to go dig flint out of the ground. FERO rod. And then your cordage. And that's a Kydex holster. Do-it-yourself job. Made it myself. I like doing that. I may do a video sometime how I did that, but there's other videos out there on how to do it. What I do is here I got a small little nest. I got some dry kindling wood here, and we got this small as I want it anyway. Take the FERO rod. I'm just going to put it in my nest there. Dry materials. Get my flame going. Like I always say, baby your fire. Baby it, baby it. Let it catch, don't suffocate it. I got that teepeed up, but there's air underneath it. And I'm going to put that out so we can move on to the next thing. And I'm going to suffocate it. But you see how the FERO rod, just stick it straight in there. And this rod, if you want to get one of these on eBay, you just look at them, they're like a 5-inch. Man, that's a huge diameter. It's almost bigger as my pinky finger. But this thing will shoot a spark from a long way. But you can get a good spark and it'll last you a long, long time. And I keep it right there locked in close by, so I always have my knife, my big knife with me. Most important tool, I believe. Now we'll go to the bow drill, and I'm going to attempt to get a little, maybe if nothing else, I'll get some smoke with it. And it's a tough one to do, but you can do it with practice. All right. First of all, I said about this bow drill, it's not easy, but it will work. And I tell you a key thing, when I was taught to do this, a friend of mine who is a active Navy SEAL, you can see here, support the SEALs, he taught the guys after the different stages of budge training as they come out. One of the things they have to do is wilderness survival skills, and it's up in Alaska where it's really harsh. And if anybody's watched that show Alone, you know how harsh you get up that area is. But that's where he trained SEALs after he did his time. He was training SEALs coming through there in wilderness survival, and he also has a survival training school up in Kentucky, and he's a really neat guy. But and I may put a link to his school or his name in the bottom if I can remember to do that. But he showed me how to do this. We did some training together a while back, and I tell you the one thing that was amazing, he told us what we needed to do and showed us his kit. And one of the key thing is whatever this is your board, your spindle. It's going to go into, and as it spins, you've got a notch here, and it's going to catch the ember. And the big thing is whatever your fireboard's made out of and your spindle needs to be the same wood. He said that's a big key. It'll work other ways, but he said it's just a lot easier to do it if you use the same wood. So both these are cedar. And cedar was around us a lot while we were doing training. And one thing he did say with the cedar, it works good, but stay in the white wood, stay out of the red part of the cedar to make your fire. It just works a little bit better. And then the other thing is, you got to have this piece. And what this is you'll see when I have my spindle and my bow on this is to hold down and put pressure, to hold that down. And you can make this out of anything, a rock, piece of wood, what have you. And you can keep this whole kit, you can make it smaller and leave it in there. But this is the one I made when we went through training up there with Aaron. And the other thing is there's something to catch your ember. And I like a little leaf here. And I'm going to put it right over top of where the little cut is. And another thing we realized is one of the guys we all brought a kit with us, and I had brought a folding saw, and I used the Corona razor, which you can get at Lowe's for about 20 bucks, which is great saw. It is equal to the Laplander saw all day long, and I've watched comparison videos, and another guy said the same thing. Great saw, good for budget as well. And my brother who was there with me had a hatchet. I didn't have a hatchet with me. I had my knife and that saw. But how valuable both those items were, having them, especially the saw, because to cut this board out, I made cuts here and here to peel this piece of wood out and make it, and then split it off with my knife to get it flat. And then to cut this notch was way easier with the saw, as well as splitting this piece off of the tree and cutting it out, and then I use my knife as a drill to get that rounded edge in there, as you can see there, for the spindle to hold on to. And then of course carve this out with a hatchet and the knife as well as the spindle. And you can make the spindle shorter if you like as well. And I got me a little bird nest together here, and some of the leaves over here are damp from a little pop-up shower we had the other day, but I hope that one will take. Now I got paracord, which that's one of your 10Cs, it's cordage. You should have that with you if nothing else, a shoestring. This is this little green limb, and you want to leave enough slack in there to get this in there, because if you'll see, I got it in the bow, and I'm gonna twist it in there so it's in there like that and pops out. You want it tight, so that's the way it should be. It's very, very tight. And we'll attempt to get a little bit of an ember in here. Of course, when Aaron did this, of course he's a SEAL. These guys are phenomenal. He made this look really, really easy, but we all had to do it before we finished the training, and I did finally get it. And I have not tried this since. I'll put this on top. And of course it's going to be more difficult since I'm trying to do this on a video. That's in my notch. Put my foot on it there. And you should be able to see the smoke if nothing else. And once you get smoke, you just go harder and faster to get this. And you want to get your stroke going. I can smell the wood burning. And hopefully I've got a little ember in there. No, didn't get it yet. But that happens. Fire don't come easy. Nothing in the wilderness or survival is easy. And then my string, it gets a little loose. You gotta tighten it back up. When you make your spindle, don't make it perfectly round. Square it a little bit so it really grabs. Mine was starting to slip. Just where it's getting worn. Every once in a while you have to adjust that. And I'm going to try one more time to get an ember here for you and get that fire going. Hopefully y'all can see the smoke coming that time. I just didn't quite get the ember I wanted. It's all about getting a rhythm. Getting a rhythm on that. Get ember or not. No, it was little, it went out. Like I said, it is really tough work to get an ember. Sometimes you'll get that notch and you'll have to do another one because you'll burn this out too much. And then what you got to do is you got to come over and make you another hole with your knife. And what you're doing is you're creating heat with that spindle. Another thing is, if you have the saw, you can make another hole in there. You want to cut you a V into that wood so you have a place for your ember to fall down into. Which is a lot better when you have a saw. You can do this with a knife. Makes life easier when you have a folding saw with you. So I'm going to take that and round it out just a little bit more. I've seen guys fireboards like this. Now I got a couple fires out of that first hole when I first made this. I started a fire with it. And I haven't done it since, but I've done a lot of demos just to show people how it smokes and what it's doing. And it could be that I've just wore that one out. So what I'm going to do, start that new one, and see if we can't get another one. And I might be getting in a little bit of the redwood on the wood, which doesn't work as good. And I did my spindle upside down. We're going to give it one more shot. I'm sure y'all saw the smoke, but I'd like to get you a fire going with this. It is a very old technique. One, to at least done it once so you have the confidence to know that you can do it. I know I can do it because I've done it a couple times. And it could have been the pressure of Navy SEAL watching me. Of course, he did this in like a couple minutes the first time, but I'm getting it, but smoke. But for the sake of not having a really long video, which may be a little bit too late, I won't go ahead and finish that one. But try that at home and take those examples of the fireboard. Just get you any kind of wood to start it out with, and try something at the hardware store, or go out in the woods and make your own. I think if you make it in the woods, you'll feel more fulfilled to try to do that. There's many other ways to start a fire. Those are just a few. And again, I'll say when you're making a fire, you got to baby it and pamper it a little bit and take care of it, because it's going to keep you warm, heat your food, heat your water. There's a lot of things you can do with fire. Fire harden the end of a stick for a weapon if you need one to protect yourself. So get your small, fine tinder that you're going to start off with first. If you've brought it with you, that's great. I recommend having some tinder with you. It just makes life easier. If not, I mentioned a few things from dry grass, leaves, an old bird nest, the cattail. Take your knife and take some scrapings on the inside of a dry tree and get that nest, and that's where you want your spark in. Gently blow up on it like this, like you seen me do earlier, to get it caught, but then have the small kindling that you've batoned out or what have you ready, small dried sticks, teepeed up, so you can slide that flame in there and let that wood catch, and then gradually lay your bigger wood gradually on top of that, not being careful not to suffocate it or pile it on too heavy. Do it lightly and protect it and baby it so that fire will be there for you. Guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope this helped, and if you have any ideas or comments or anything you'd like to see, leave it in the comment section below. And remember, you got to go prepared, because you just never know.